Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camppatton Family Compound. It is time for Friday night on the Homestead, and tonight's topic is one that some of you are not going to be too thrilled about. I can tell by already watching what's going on in the side chat here. Snow removal and other winter chores. How y'all doing out there? So, I'll say hi. Anybody else sneaks in here to say hi here? And so, first one in was came in about 6 hours ago. Was CR. Walt came in about an hour and a half ago. There's Garden Club is here. Phelan Clan Wolf is lurking. It's Marshmallow Man is here. Let's see here. Geeky Gardens is here. Yep. Oh, Walt threw it up. Been a member for 26 months. Hit the like button. Thank you. Everybody, please hit the like button. And let's see. Okay, Chef Tech is here. Teresa Buchanan's here. Diana 2 is here. Yep. Actually, looks like yesterday. No, yeah, it's the day after tomorrow. Actually, it's the day after tomorrow. When we get to the minus temperatures here. And it's minus Fahrenheit, not minus Celsius, centigrade, whatever. Oh man, yeah. We had a snow today. It was a light one, but it was a cold snow, and then it got colder and it stopped snowing. The clouds still look like they're ready to dump on us, but wow. All right. So let me see what else I can throw up here to keep everybody happy here. Oh, that's right. YouTube still won't let me gift out memberships on this channel. I don't know why. I contact go, you can do it. I go, no, I can't. I'm trying to do it. It doesn't show it. It doesn't even show the option of it here. So sorry, folks. Otherwise, those that are not members, I would throw out some memberships. But hey, it don't do it. Ooh, no. All right, we got a real cool company, right? Real cool company, yeah. Just Right Heating and Air. Though they're really good. They even came out on a Sunday. We called them Sunday morning, and they actually had someone there, and it's like, all right, our furnace died in the middle of the night, and they had somebody out here in an hour and a half. And it was, that was across the street at my daughter's place. That was great. And they did it. They offered some free propane indoor heater ones, and electric heaters too to plug in. Whatever we need to keep the house warm. We got the Mr. Heater Buddy. And yeah, they the next morning they showed up with a big crew and a new furnace and got it changed. All righty, let's see. Let's head on over to the fun stuff. Fortunately, it's not as deep as it is in this picture here. If it was that deep, I'd be paying Curtis to bring his one of his Bobcats or skid steers over here and scrape my driveway clean. I haven't had a chance to put on the oil pan heaters yet, but next week it's supposed to be dry. Next week is supposed to be dry but cold. But if it's dry and I get everything cleaned up there, and then I can crawl underneath the tractor and I can put the heaters on it. I can get it started. and then I can get it moved into the shop where it's a lot easier to start it up and get it out here. Yeah. Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna change something real quick. Just that these guys are kind of interesting here. Let's get this over here. Come on, come on, come on. This is what their trucks look like. It's pink. You cannot miss it when they're in the area. Yeah, that's right now heating and air. Yep, boom. Go ahead and boom. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure if you'll get any snow, but you'll definitely get some cold coming through there, Jack. Brand new snowblower, yeah. I got a snowblower too. I got two of them. They're electric, and I actually need another person behind me to keep the slack out of the cord so I don't back over it and keep not dragging it through and the stuff I haven't blown snow on. But the staff sergeant said, no, we got the electric ones. You don't need a powered one, a gasoline powered one. But I have a feeling she's going to change her mind up, and when she has to fight that cord once she's up here, it'll be, we need to get one of those ones with the tracks on it and the big blower on it, and throws it 30 feet away. All right, so of course, this is everybody's main way of taking care of snow removal. Even if you have a blower, you're going to need to do some shoveling because snow blower can't get all the way up tight up against certain things sometimes, and there's some things where you need to get in there with the shovel and drag it out and move it along. And I knew I forgot to put my snow plow on there. I got a shovel called a snow plow. You're not supposed to shovel with it. It's about 3.5 feet wide, and it's a steel scoop, heavy, so it cuts down through the snow. It's got a long handle. You just got to push it, and you get it up to where you can shovel it. That works sometimes really well. Yep. CR is making his puns. Oh, that's what I forgot. All right, CR, this one's for you. This comment here should be popping up there. And let me go ahead and pin it over here. Yeah, my wife was thinking about saying, why don't we pick up a used four-wheeler with a plow on it? And my thinking right off the bat was, if they're selling their four-wheel, their ATV, there's a reason why they're selling it. If they're selling it with the plow, there's another reason why they're selling it. There's something wrong with it. If we're going to get one, we're going to get a new one, so we don't have to deal with it again, with it breaking down like some of the ones I've heard about around here. The snow shovels come in. If you look at the picture, they come in different widths and stuff, and some of them, like the one on the far left here, does not have a metal edge on it. That's just a regular manure scoop shovel. Some of the other ones, they actually, that have the D handles on them and stuff, those actually have the aluminum edge on it, so it scrapes the ice better without wearing down the plastic so much. Yep, that's why I go out there and I'll shovel for about 15 minutes. I'll come in, get on the exercise bike and stuff. When I'm shoveling right this year, I'm doing it strictly for the exercise. And it's like, okay, all I need to do is just keep enough room to get my car in and out, and I'm not going to worry about, clearing the whole friggin' driveway off, except when it's not snowing. Then I'll go out there and I'll shovel and I'll move the snow a little bit at a time. So I finished clearing an area where I can actually bring the truck from the field and park it on the driveway as well, in case I ever need to drive the truck out anywhere. But if the wind's not blowing and if it's not snowing, generally I'll just put the gloves on and stuff because I'll have a long sleeve shirt. I have the long sleeve t-shirt. I have the short sleeve t-shirt. So I'm not going to get overheat. I'm not going to sweat, but I'm not going to get cold. And with the gloves on, I can go out there. I can work a lot longer than I do. I'll go out there and work for a little bit, and I'll come back in, and here they come. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, everybody but CR. CR's afraid to come up because he gets angry with the snow.
If CR comes up, he's afraid. All of a sudden I'm going to start throwing up pictures of food.
Oh, I will. I keep those pictures ready to go.
Yeah.
Don't forget to eat very well when you're done shoveling, like bacon and eggs and steak and
brisket.
Yeah.
Brisket. Oh yeah, barbecue brisket. Yeah.
Just make sure you fire up the smoker before you go out to shovel. That way, when you're done, your smoked meat is done. Hopefully, not frozen.
Yep.
I have one of those. You mentioned the snowblower with the tractor treads on it. Yeah, I got one. I bought it when I lived in my previous house because our driveway was like 30-degree up, and it was concrete, so we got ice all the time and then snow. I literally went out and bought a big box of short sheet metal screws and screwed them into every fat part of the treads, and that thing would just claw its way to oblivion. And I love it. I still have it. I had it rebuilt 2 years ago because the belts were original. The thing was crap. That thing's got to be 20 years old now or more, and still in great shape. I gave it to one of my buddy's fathers and said, rebuild it. He rebuilt it. All new everything, belts, cables, all that stuff, and rebuilt the carburetor and fired right up. I purposely ran it out of gas, and it's been sitting in my shed for 2.5 years now, waiting for the moment.
Yeah. You see.
Yeah.
You just put screws in it in the
Yeah, so in the treads, I actually wound up having to get a new set of treads at one point because it did split them after a while. But they were just 5/16 head. I think they were 3/4 or 1 inch self tappers. And on the edges of the treads, it's like extra thick. It has like a cup angle to it. And they're thicker there, like they're wider. So yeah, I just screwed them all in there. And it was great. Every now and then one would rip out. But I didn't care. I just put it, and that's what did my treads. And I put a new set of treads. Those were not cheap. I think the set of treads 15 years ago was like $250, and I only paid $450 for the snowblower.
Yeah. One of the things.
Yeah, I did the same thing to my four-wheeler.
Yeah.
And it had the tractor mud tires in it, and the treads that stuck out the furthest, I put in little screws. I think they were like 1/2 inch long with particular, like not spikes, but where they would scratch and bite into the ice.
Yeah, they're great until they rip out of your tire.
Yeah, but they did the trick, right? Like, I didn't have to put chains on it or anything like that. But I changed them in the summertime when it was like spring out. I would change them to a regular normal tire.
Yeah, it's like studded snow tires.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What with my two tractors here? The Coyote is 4-wheel drive. The 9N Ford, built in 1939, is the big back wheels are the only thing. And when I was trying to plow the street, sometimes it would sit there, and I would go sideways. I would work back and forth while it's trying to plow the snow off to the side because it had an angle blade on the back. I started looking at these things.
Yeah, set of chains.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's them.
These have a little head on it, but then they have a little stud sticking out of the head. These are your tire studs. And these are the 12 millimeter ones, and then and for my Coyote, I was thinking about using the 9mm ones because the treads on the tractor is like like an inch and a half tall.
Oh yeah.
But the ones on other tractors, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, and you can put chains on most tractors, but not all of them have the clearance on the inside of the tire to the frame or other assorted metal parts there for chain clearance. And you got to put spacers on it and all that. It's a pain in the butt.
Or fortunately, like on the 9N, I just have to take the tires off, flip them on the side.
Yep.
And now it's got like that much clearance because it's an offset it's an offset hub. So now it's sticking way out there. All right, there's a question in the chat
no,
here,
it's good.
that I'm trying to think what I did one on it.
You did it like 2 months ago, 3 months ago
on cameras. It's been over a year on cameras. It was requested by Dr. Paula Ruffin. And so it's been over a year. So what I'm going to do, hang on a second, I'm going to put it in here. So sometime in March on Tactical Tuesday, gear and stuff, I'm going to put it in there. Secure T camera, CAM.
Yeah, you can buy security cameras that are wired or wireless, but to a closed hub, so it's not hooked to the internet. Like if you're out in the area where you have no internet, you can still but if they're wireless, you still have that capability of something hacking in if you're worried about that.
Yeah. All right, I got it added there.
Another
for March
good.
18th.
What's that, Lewis?
Another good piece of equipment. My neighbor, you can get tractors, like little lawn tractors, to cut your grass. But my neighbor, he's got a Kubota one. I think it's an F2260, and it's got the front attachment for the mower deck. He takes that off, and you can put a plow on it if you want. And you can he built himself a snow thrower big enough for it on the front end to use the PTO shaft to it. And it's 4-wheel drive and it's diesel and it works great.
Yeah. Let's see. There was something else I was going to say here. I just had the gnat flew by me and I actually got the gnat, killed it. So there was my squirrel moment. Squirrel, ball, gnat. Just the quick thing for Randy. My favorite closed circuit TV setup is from Harbor Freight, and you can go with that. The Bunker Hill one works great. It has infrared and sound to listen to what's going on out there, and it's inexpensive, or at least it used to be. And I used a whole bunch of those in my haunted house. So, all righty, next picture here. Okay, I actually have one of these. This one, it has a one telescoping button on it, so it goes up only so far. The one I have has like 4 sections of it, so I can go way up on the roof and rake it down. Really cool. It keeps me from having to climb up on the roof, because when I bought the place, Brandon told me that and he's had to go up there a couple times to clean it off. And then when we were buying the place, I said, "Hey, for your new place, get one of these." And he saw that and he goes, "Oh my God, I didn't know they made those." Yeah, you just, it's a twist lock and you go out as far as you want and it's all the way out. I can pick it up and set it all the way to the top and pull from the top down.
My mom had the one with the it was like the little roll up blue toboggan sled things, really thin, because she had a very it wasn't a steep pitch, but from gutter, well, she didn't have gutters, from peak to the edge of the roof was like 30 feet on each side. It was a huge house. And she wouldn't do it. She had her landscaper would come out and he'd do it. And it was really cool to watch. And you watch them on video. It's like just these snow cubes just come sliding off the roof. But then he would spend another 2 hours snow blowing around the house because now you had a 12-foot berm of snow everywhere that you couldn't leave there, or that would melt and get into the house or freeze and rip the shingles off.
All right. So
up here in Canada, there's a few times where I've had to get up on certain roofs where the pitch was like not steep and just get up there and just shovel it all off.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, they have the ones like this with different length of the
blue sheeting.
The blue sheeting on it and stuff. And some of them have the white length, the white stuff. The video of it going up underneath of it. But he's also way too high on it. He needs to start down lower. There he's starting a little bit lower, but yeah.
Yeah, hers had little wheels on it. I think like that blue one does. Yeah. Because most of them don't have wheels, and you wind up gouging if it's soft powder, you wind up gouging your shingles up pretty bad.
Yeah, I've seen some of them. They got a little skid on them too, like the snowblowers do, so they don't.
Yeah.
And those work pretty good too. But wow, okay. They're not showing my. That looks similar to my head, but it's those are you put each panel in intermediately. Yeah, you put your each extension in. Let me find the other one. I like mine a lot better than the ones they're showing now. So give me a second here. Orders. SNOW. See, it brings it up here. Snow blower, snow fence. Okay, why is it not showing it here? Don't tell me. Why is it not showing it? It's showing the snow blowers. Okay, there we go. That's the one I got, and you see it's got the twist locks on it. So it's all as you're bringing it back, you just twist it and collapse it, and that way you would go stick it out, you just extend it. This one has worked really good for us. Currently unavailable. That's
I'm pretty good. My roof, it's pretty steep and it's metal. After a snowstorm, about a day or two of the sun, it'll slide down a little bit and it'll ice up underneath. And I'll just let the heat up in the attic so it does melt really good, and it'll just slide right down, right off the house.
Yeah, across the street, the house over there has it's got such a steep pitch on it. Like even in the summertime, I don't want to walk. I don't feel safe walking on it until I get magnetic boots. But to work on that roof, they got to get one of those ladders that has the big hook over the top, so they can set it up there, and then they go up and do stuff and everything else on it. But
you drive around up in Maine, almost all the old farmhouse roofs have a wood ladder on either side. It just hangs there all the time because they need that to shovel their roof off. They know where it is, so they just climb up and start standing on that, because you don't want to stand on the roof 2 stories off the ground unless there's 18 feet of powder below you, but then you'll drown.
That's why I saw some of the people here. They actually shoot they got a little air cannon. They shoot a rope over the top, and they put their harness on. And once they get up to the a couple feet up the roof from the bottom, they say, "All right, tie it off," and they cinch it up so that even if they slip, they don't fall off the roof. They'll slide down and stop a couple feet from the end of the roof, and then they get back up and they go do more stuff. But to me, it's like, I ain't that young anymore.
Yeah, no, fun to watch. Wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah. So snow removal, and one of the things I did this year, the front door, since the wind blows the snow up against on the front door, and last year it started to, as it piled up, then it started to melt and come underneath the front door, because I hardly ever use the front door. I just went ahead and got some clear heavy duty Visqueen, and I just cut it to the size of the metal framework of the door and duct taped it on. It's on there. It's holding nice. It's keeping the snow away from the door, and it allows it to, the door's not quite as cold inside as it was last year because it's got that air pocket of about 5.5 inches there. But that keeps that clear, and I don't have to worry about the front walkway since I got the signs up for the UPS guy and the FedEx guy to come around to the back under the cover and put the stuff back there. Except for a couple of the idiots that try dropping off the stuff out front and immediately get stolen by one of the what do I want to call those around that live here, trailer trash,
porch pirates.
Even though they're in a house.
Porch pirates.
I know they're the stars of cops. But yeah.
Another good thing for shoveling, Gil, on my house, my furnace vents, the exhaust and the air intake, like the exhaust sits a bit higher, but the air intake sits a little lower. And once a month I go and check on it, just shovel it so it's not getting blocked up.
When they put the furnace in last year, well, not last year now, in summer in August of 2023. So they had to redo the roof and put in the special flange and everything else, and they used a ton of silicone goop underneath of it and on top of it and all around. So that's well sealed. But the two pipes, because it has an draw in and an exhaust one, they're up in the air about 2.5 feet above the roof, and they curl over. And I can take my even with the patio roof I put on, the patio roof I put on, I can extend my pull up enough where I can get up past it on each side and pull and keep those clear. But last year, never got close to it. Now, you really remind me of something else, and most people don't think about this, and I didn't realize it until I noticed it a little bit late last year, but I didn't know about it till really figured it out till this year. The stove vent over the vent over the grease trap stove, over the vent and everything else.
Yeah.
I was over there one time, and it's like, why is it so friggin' good? This cold air coming down in the house there?
Now your little flapper vent got stuck open.
Well, I turned on the fan. It started blowing, and I let it run for a couple minutes. It was drawing warm air up, warmed the pipe up, and when I turned it off, it kept going up because the pipe's warm, so it kept a little draw going. But then I figured out about the third time it did it. Okay, the elevation of that vent is about, it's about below eye level, so it's about 5.5 feet up, 5.25 feet. The bathrooms, vents in the bathroom are way up higher where it's a lot warmer. And so the air is just naturally going out those, and it's got to pull air in somewhere. The air is going out the bathroom vents. So it pulls it in for the vent over the stove because that's lower elevation. It's not as warm. Yeah. So, that's one thing that, so maybe tomorrow, after this live stream's over, I got to call the wife and talk to her. I'm going to go to first I'm going to go to one of the thrift stores and see if they got, the Deseret Industries up here in Idaho Falls, the one run by the LDS Church. And because they test any appliances they sell, they test to make sure they're working, if they even have any in there, and see about getting a natural gas stove. I already checked Craigslist. Everything's gone. Everybody bought whatever was left that came out after Christmas or whatever. People, someone gets their wife a new stove. The old one goes out, goes on Craigslist. They sell it, and they're all gone. Anyways. I'm going to see. I may have to wind up going down to Home Depot or Lowe's and picking up a brand new stove. And my daughter lucked out when she got her new stove over there. They found a floor model that had a ding on the side. Well, the ding on the side, you
Who
never
cares?
see it because it's in between the counters, so
Yeah,
you can't see the side.
I got $100 off on my dryer for that. They delivered it, and it was a big old dent in the side. And they're like, "Oh, what do you want to do? Do you want us to take it back?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm not sure. Let me ask the wife." Ha ha. Like, let me go ask my manager. And she's like, "Well, they're like, well, we called the boss. It was Best Buy. We called in, and they said they can give you $150 credit." I was just like, okay, that can work. I said, I don't think it's going to affect the dryer. Of course it won't affect the dryer. The drum is like 12 inches away from where this dent is, and it's next to the washer. I don't care as long as it dries my clothes.
Yeah. So that's hopefully I can find one of those floor models that are, a little ding in it, and they'll knock a couple hundred off on it.
Hey, when nobody's looking, just kick it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? Sorry.
Anyways, yeah. So if I get one of those, then I'll actually have the stove over there going, and I'll actually have the pot of water going over there by it. So there'll be heat there, so I won't have to worry about the cold air coming down in. Let's speaking about keeping the house warm and stuff, and cold air coming in and out of the house. There's the next picture. I got a supply of firewood outside on the patio. Got a supply in the shop, and I got a boatload of.
No, you don't. You don't have any firewood. You live in a desert.
I got a boatload of cardboard from Amazon. Hey, I tell you, man, when I packed it up one time, about 6 inches high, all the way across, I lit the top. Man, I had to damper that sucker down because I started one fire on one side, but pretty soon the whole thing was going. Man, it heated up everything really fast, and so I had to close down the dampers on it, and it's burnt for half an hour, but it was hot.
Up here in Canada, some of the things we do, I've put some cedar trees, and I keep them clipped up to like a hedge kind of thing along the side of the house. They might be a foot away from the house, and on the other side of the house, I've got my elderberry bushes, and I keep them pruned up to just a foot or two above the windows, and that breaks the wind.
Yeah. Speaking about that, you remind me of something there, Lewis. I saw a video about I get on the reels. I get a bunch of stuff because I give the thumbs up to the farmers on the reels and stuff just to show support. So I get more of those instead of oh, look at me. I don't understand why men can't be so wild, or why do women have to be so, those I don't. I just kind of skip by those so I get the nice farmers and stuff. The one guy was saying that he leaves after he goes through and harvests, he leaves 6 rows along the road that he doesn't harvest by machine. And then he sends out the grandkids, everybody else, to harvest by hand and leave the stalks up because it acts as a windbreak, and they'll get the snow drifts built up against the stalks and not blowing out onto the road.
Yeah, they do that up here in Canada. Some farmers do that along some of the major highways because they'll get the highways will get shut down. And instead of having to put up a snow fence, they'll leave a combined row worth of corn sitting up by the road or even by their house. If they're up by a highway or a road like that, and the wind blows, they'll have it so that they kind of combine it all down. And if the house is like right by that field, they'll leave it so it's wrapped around the house.
Yep. Yeah. And like Mother at the Garden Club said, check your dryer vent.
You better get them. If you're getting lint buildup on the outside of the vent where it comes out, you need to get your dryer vents cleaned.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy the tool. My neighbor did it for a living. He gave me his. It's like that snow rake thing. It has little extensions on it, the little thread ends, and it's flexible, and it has a nylon big brush on the end, put it in your drill, but you got to go downstairs or wherever your dryer is, get your vacuum cleaner, put it on blow mode. You flip the hose around and you blow it out as you're cleaning it. Just wear a mask because you're going to get a face full of crud outside. I'm due to clean mine out in the spring. It's been like 3-4 years now. And a lot of stuff. And you can start your house. You can catch your house on fire for that.
Yeah.
Even if it's an electric dryer.
Why isn't it showing it? Because I bought a couple here. So I got to figure. Let me pull this down. See if I can hunt it a little bit.
Yeah, my dryer vent run. My dryer vent run is 20 feet straight before it goes down to my dryer because it's in the basement on the far side. And he gave me enough. I go in there and what is that?
Yeah. All right. So what this is, it comes off I have a thing comes off the dryer vent and it comes up to this here, and it's got a flapper in the middle there. And in the summertime, it looks like this, but in the wintertime, it blows the heat and moisture into the house when I use the dryer. And this screen vent there, I clean it off every time I run a cycle on it, and yeah, it works great for putting warm, moist air in the house instead of outside of the house in the wintertime.
Except that's for an electric dryer. I wouldn't do that with a gas dryer.
Yeah.
You kill yourself.
Well, yeah, you'd be surprised how well the gas dryers burn efficiently.
Right, you still got carbon monoxide coming out of it, so
yeah,
you don't make that. That doesn't go away. That's the byproduct.
But yeah, we actually in California we have the one with on the gas dryer, but we also happen to have out in the laundry area out there we have 2 carbon monoxide detectors. They've never gone off.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, this
another
excellent with an electric dryer for getting that warm, moist air back into the house, so you're not wasting the energy to warm up outside.
Yeah.
Talking about dryer vents, another good thing about doing is your furnace vents as well too. I've got a big dog and I smoke in the house, so it's not all the time I gotta clean out the dryer vent, but when I do the dryer vent, I'm doing the furnace vents as well too.
Yeah. Fortunately, the fires in California are not logging areas.
No, they're
those
houses.
are in the cities where the trees are and stuff. And that area they do not log any trees in the city limits or the metropolitan area of Los Angeles at all. So, Trudeau, Trudeau.
I thought he resigned. Didn't he step down?
She said she read that Trudeau shut down him. So I don't know.
Something about March or something like that about a re-election. It's going to be coming up by the end of the winter sometime.
Yeah. And of course, when does he actually step down? He's not out yet, is he?
I have no idea.
No, he's not fully out. I think it's just a matter of because I think the actual election, is close. So why bother having it really early when they can bring somebody in for the next couple of months or whatever, right? From the same party.
Yeah, they're going to try to.
I think he's just
trying to
waiting.
put a different mask on the puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that they can run again. And Trudeau is just sitting in his chair there until one of the two happens.
He'll probably do the same as Joe. On the way out the door, he'll ruin everything he can because that's what Joe is doing right now.
Captain Crazy. Don't call him Joe. It's Captain Crazy.
Well, I didn't call him Mr. Anything, so we'll go with that.
Yeah. But yeah, there is going to be there's going to be some rebuilding, but Gavin Newsom is I mean, you see, he looks like the way he's talking about it, you almost think he's having a
he was doing a dance.
Yeah, you think he's just had a passionate session, and he just had a big O. He's so excited.
Yeah, he was doing like a little dancing jiggy dance there, and
yeah, we're gonna
smiling and
about
they just want to put their 15-minute cities in.
Yeah, there's smart city in there.
Yeah,
but anyways, yeah. So and if they do put the smart city in there, it's not going to be a lot of lumber. It's all going to be concrete and steel.
Yep.
So
and affordable housing. Don't forget the affordable housing
for illegal aliens.
Exactly.
All right. So firewood, yeah, get your firewood, and for me, my firewood is for my emergency backup wood stove because I run the furnace now. That way, I don't have to feed it. I don't have to have to clean out the stove, but have ash. No matter how careful you are cleaning out a stove, you get ash in the air. So so that's another chore is if you're on a wood burning stove. Trying to remember who it was. Two of the ladies following here. One is Wendy at Hardnack Farms, and I can't remember the other one off the top of my head. That's how they heat their homes in the wintertime. They got 2 or 3 wood burning stoves, and that's how they heat it. Yeah. I call him the great
getting my furnace cleaned out every so often if that's I'd get my furnace cleaned out every so often if that was the fact, right? Because the ash buildup in the ductwork alone, right? Especially the air intake.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Take a look at the next picture here. If you got animals, you got to take care of the animals in the wintertime more so than you do in the summertime. And the spring and summertime, you got fresh grass growing and everything's nice and neat about that, and they can eat. You don't got to feed them that much. Same thing for the bigger ones, for the steaks.
Steaks and the roasts.
Go back. So when we had 2 Black Angus.
This is the first winter I haven't had chickens.
Yeah. We had 2 Black Angus. Half Black Angus, half Guernsey Jersey off the cows, the milk cows. My mom wanted to call it mud and fog because of the conditions they were born in. We call it cesspool and skillet.
Nice.
She did not like calling the one skillet. And here's the other problem.
Like this is the first winter I haven't had.
Yeah. So
for the last couple of years, right? And I'm not missing looking after them, but I'm most definitely missing the eggs because the price of eggs now, I think I spent about $12 for 30 of them. And it's insane.
Yeah. So if you have any type of animals, they need water in the wintertime. And when Brandon owned the property, he had his cows out here. He was filling up the 5-gallon buckets every day and taking water out to them because he couldn't run the garden hose out there anymore. The garden hose would freeze up solid. And so he would be going over there filling up their watering trough. But that's the problem. It get really cold, the watering trough fills up.
It freezes.
Yeah. Oh, and you also have to take care of, if you got a milk cow, unless you got a barn, it really gets bad.
Yeah, if I ever get a cow that milks, I am going to definitely have a barn. I refuse to sit out in a pile of snow and freeze my butt off.
Yeah.
Milking a cow.
It works really good for cows. For if you just have a couple cows, get yourself a cargo container dropped in there. You can split it down the middle, and you can have them where they come in and put man-made doors into one half where you can bring them in to milk them and stuff, and the other half you keep the grain and some bales of alfalfa and stuff for the wintertime. But or you can just build off the side of it, just build the lean-to then, so you got covered to for them to do it.
But it's cold, man. It's cold.
It's cold unless you got one of these Iowa dairies where they got all the heaters going and stuff in there. Or the dairy farms.
That costs money.
Then of course, like Lewis is saying, chickens. You got to take care of the chickens, and chickens love alfalfa to scratch around in, eat, and nest in and get all nice and warm in there. I've seen so many tests on that.
I was out there every other day for the water.
Yeah,
I was out there every other day for the water because it would freeze up.
Yeah.
And I'd do it by hand, and then out there every day feeding them, checking for eggs, and making sure their bedding was half decent.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone talks, you put salt water in a sealed bottle in the troughs, it'll keep it from freezing. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't.
That's a myth.
Yeah, the salt water itself may not freeze, but the water will.
The water around it will still freeze because it still gets down to temperature. The salt water doesn't heat it up. In fact, you put salt in water, it actually cools water. You put salt on ice, it causes the chemical reaction, and it gets colder still as it melts. But putting salt water bottles in the water troughs does not keep it from freezing. I've seen so many farm channels say, all right, we're going to try it. And they had 2 troughs, had a thermometer out, put it in one, and both froze just to solid.
Yeah, like I've had one of those red and white ones where you turn the white thing upside down and it slowly trickles out. It'll freeze up, guaranteed. In that red thing where they drink from, it'll freeze up, and then the rest of it will slowly freeze up from the white part from the outside, like the outer edge, all the way in.
Let me go to the next slide here.
You need a little solar power chicken water heater.
Well, I got that coming up. So chickens love, especially in wintertime, love to have bales of straw and stuff. All right, here we go. If you notice on the blue one here, that black cord coming down to it, the bottom of it is a heater.
Yeah.
It will, and it has a thermal thermometer, basic switch on it. So when it gets down to a certain temperature, like it gets down to like 37 or so, it starts heating up the water. The one on the right there has a cord. You can see it plugging up there, and in the bottom of it, it has the heater. So the heats up the bottom, and the heat kind of rises in the water. And chickens can drink, but it's not just for chickens. Dogs and cats can have their outside bowl as well. Now, the one I got here has a little float on there, so you can hook the garden hose to it. That ain't going to work. That garden hose is going to be freezing. Even it doesn't matter if the bowl is heated. The garden hose is going to freeze. Hello, people, don't fall for this scam here. You want one to you're going to have to fill the bowl up, so you don't even spend extra money for that little float thing on it.
The guy that used to own the house I live in bought another place, and he has horses, and he's got something similar to that, but on a lot bigger scale. And the water will freeze up, guaranteed. But what he's done is it's got heaters in it and everything, but the hose won't freeze up because he's hooked it up to what's the hydrant, outdoor hydrant ones where you turn the handle and it takes a couple of seconds to start pumping.
Yeah, it brings it to the underground.
That's what he hooked it up to.
Yeah, what I did when I had the trailer across the street for that hose, the hydrant, once it came up out of the ground, you can buy like the heat tape I did for my gutters, but they have it where it has a magnetic heat sensor. You put it on the pipe and you wrap it with the heat tape, and you wrap the hose and you take it right up to the trailer, or in this case to the water trough. And if you get the good stuff, you can submerge that tape into where it goes into the trough itself to make sure there's no part where the hose can freeze. I'm trying to find something here for you guys.
Because this thing sits about maybe 3 feet on the ground, and it's got just enough for one horse to go and take a drink. Once that float goes down, it kicks on, and it might take a couple of seconds for the water to start, right? But once it's filled up, it drains all the way back down, and that whole thing for the water for the horse to drink, it's just heated, right? Wherever that particular thing it needs heat, that's it.
Yeah, I can try to get it up here. Oh, come on, give me the good ones here. Yeah, like show me the cheap ones here. So hang on a second. So these are some of the water trough heaters. All right, here's one of the good ones. That's a 1500 watt one here. This little wire one with a little red thing. That sits at the bottom, but the wire cage for it keeps it off the bottom. So if it's in a plastic one, it won't melt the bottom one. Some of these other ones that go over the side. Another one that lays on the bottom here, on this side here. But I'm trying to find the good ones. They're not showing the good ones here.
Just make sure it has a built-in thermostat so you don't do like I almost did to my fish pond one year.
Yeah. Okay, let's try this heater for L-I. So, all right. So here's one of the nice ones here. Has a good cage on it, so they can't bite at it or anything else. I'm looking for the one that's floating. Now here's what the blue one over here. That one floats. 1250 watt. It floats. Has a metal sleeve on the cord, so the cows and the horses can't bite it. And there are several floating ones like that that work good for that. And there's a whole different variety. And they have come everything from 150 watt up to 1500 watts.
You're better off with the one that sits on the bottom, because normal thermal convection of the water will keep the whole trough thing. If you have one that floats on top, you'll just have this pool on top of melted water, and everything below it'll freeze solid.
Interesting thing.
I was about to say that because
but interesting thing was, some of the ranchers, they put two in there. They put one on the bottom and one on the top to prevent the wind chill from flash freezing the top.
Man.
And it gives it a chance to keep the top, both of them working together, keeps it free and stuff.
I just don't think I want to live in a place that's so cold I need to do that.
You're in Pennsylvania, it'll do it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'll just make one big chicken barn.
The guy that used to own my house, his mother owns horses, and she's got these like bathtub size, almost the size of bathtub troughs, and she's got the wire underneath. And the horses, she's got two horses, and they share the same thing, but she doesn't have the floating one. The horses they usually take enough, like when they drink just enough, right? So that it just freezes, like not much, but they got to poke their nose into it to break the top part of the ice. And she'll go in there and break up the ice out, because it's so much easier, because it might be worst case scenario. She told me it was like 2 or 3 inches, but the middle where the horses stick their nose in was good, and she'll just take a hammer to it or a splitting axe, break up the ice, and haul it all out.
Yeah. Now,
at least once a day.
For my daughter's chicken, she's got one of those big metal cans that used to be my mom's for the water, and so I bought her one of these. You know, you don't see the heating elements; it's inside inside of it, and she just sets the other can right on top of it, and that way it just heats up. It has the temperature thing on it, so if it gets down to 37 degrees, it turns on, and it turns off at 45. You don't need to heat it more than 45 degrees, and so that's the last picture I got. That's the last picture I got there. But yeah, there is a variety of things you can get for helping them. The animals. What I really liked was, let me go back up to find this one again. Okay, on this one here, I saw one where if you have the hanging bucket without the heating element under it. You can actually buy a strap. It's like a 2-inch wide, 3-inch wide strap that goes around it, and it has clips for spring, so you have a variety of sizes of buckets you can put it on, or any type of watering cans, whatever, and you plug that in. That way, when you don't need it, you don't need to have it on the can during off season, the summer season. So that's one thing. Let me bring up the other thing here real quick here so I can show you that something that works good with it.
Yeah, as long as the chickens don't peck into the tape that's on there.
Yeah. Come on. Well, it's fairly heavy stout. It's the same stuff we used to use on the fuel trucks for our grease barrels. Only one we used on our grease barrel was like 9 inches wide, and we would wrap it around near the bottom of the barrel. That would heat up the grease barrel a little bit in the wintertime, so it could pump. Let's see. Let's trying to remember what to do the search for it here. Then I had a squirrel moment. Now I can't even think of what I was going to look for.
Heat tape for a chicken water, whatever.
No, it wasn't the heat tape for chicken, but it was because I'm sure it's something I had bought before. Oh, there's two things that just came up here. So first is the ceramic heat lamp. Really? Oh, that's why. Misspelled the word. No, still not, sir.
Infrared light bulb, heat lamp.
No. Let's try just ceramic, see if it comes up. There it is. Yeah, it's a ceramic heat lamp, and didn't want to bring it up. This says ceramic heat lamp, but it didn't want to bring it. So I've bought these for 50. I bought some for my daughter at one point for her turkeys, because the turkeys kept pecking at the big heat lamp bulbs that actually put light out, and they were breaking it. And so I bought her some of these. These come in I got 50 water, and I bought some 80 waters and 200 watt ones. And so basically, I bought different ones for different things. The 200 watt ones go under my tractor in the shop on a timer, so they come on about 2 hours before I want to go out there and start the tractor up, since that tractor does not have a block heater on it. But these are for like reptile tanks and lizard things, so it radiates the heat down from it. Ceramic coils on it. But the other thing I got was the T8 Therm. Thermostat. Let's see what it brings up here. If it brings it, there we go, right on the top. Boom. I bought a bunch of these for me and her. These things are really cool. Basically, temperature drop of this unit here drops below 38 degrees. It comes on, or 30 degrees centigrade, and it turns off at 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees centigrade. And so you can have that to turn on if you have like the heat band around the 5-gallon bucket of water or whatever else. You can get one of these on there to do it. You can get one of these to run the heat lamps, the ceramic ones I just showed.
How does that know that? Like if I plug in my, heater thing to it, how does it know that the water's at 58 degrees? Because it's just a heater plugging in.
All right.
The device itself has to get to 58 degrees.
Which means the ambient air of where it's near has to be up to 50 degrees to turn off, or it gets down to 38 degrees, it turns on.
Oh, in which case, if your heater is too big for your water supply, You'll just be boiling water until the temperature in the building comes up.
Oh, the heaters you get are low wattage and stuff. They're just like 50 watt or 60 watt. They're not a 500 watt or 2,000 watt one that you would plug this into. And this would be like you plug in the 200 or the 150 or the 100 watt snake aquarium, heat lamp, and it just provides just enough heat to keep things warm so that the water doesn't freeze. Pass some heat.
What's up, GP?
Yeah, Guardian Prepping is in the house, and so yeah, these are one of the little cool ones you can get for the different things on it. So, but yeah, there are a lot of things you can do to help it, and then of course there is how to help you save on your shoveling and on stairs and stuff like that. If you have a Costco near you, generally they'll have two types. They'll have this bag of thermal melt. It's a white bag with the red banner on it and the white lettering on it and stuff. And it costs about $8.99. Or you can get the blue bag of water softeners. But it's still small crystals. It's not the big chunks like the
no, yellow bag is pellets. We call them suppositories, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But the other ones you get for $6.99, $2 cheaper for the exact. Yeah. And actually, the blue bags are 50 pounds.
Bag. Yeah, 40-pound bags for like $7.
Yeah, the 50-pound blue bags they're 50 pounds for $6.99, and the red ones are 40-pound bags for $8.99. And the red bags when you put it out, they're kind of purple. They got some chemical on it to turn it purple and whatever. Yeah,
I won't use halite or any of those chemicals. Oh, it's good down to 7 degrees. It's like, dude, if it's 7 degrees out, I ain't going outside. Plus, regular salt, which if you look up the MSDS sheet for softener salt, it's literally salt. Nothing else in it. You could grind it up and eat it. I mean, it's purified. Not totally, but because you're putting it in a water supply. But that I throw that down. I throw it on the ground because if my dog walks in it, it's just salt. He's not going to get chemical burns on his paws. And if he licks his paws, which he doesn't, it's just salt. He'll just drink a little bit more water that day.
Yeah.
So I won't use any of that chemical crap.
Oh, man. Okay. Another school bus, electric school bus went poof because it was so cold and they were trying to drive it. It caused, the lithium batteries in real cold don't do very well.
They don't do anything.
Well, put it this way: it almost like shorted it out and caused a fire on the electric school bus. I just got another email.
Wouldn't that warm the other batteries up so they work?
Unfortunately, a chain reaction. They all went poof. Yeah. Let me refresh this one here. Yeah. So Mother Earth Garden Club says it'll be minus 15 on where she's at on Monday. I'm looking at mine. So the low tonight is 2 degrees. The low tomorrow night is -1. On Sunday it's -6, and on Monday it's -9.
We're supposed to have -4 on Wednesday next week, which is low for around here. We don't normally see much below like 5, 10.
Yeah, it's gonna get cold up here in the next week. Like we're talking, I think, like 1 degree, 3 degrees.
See you later, garden prepping. Yeah, so you have a Costco near you, check it out where they got the water softener salt, because they got the bags of the yellow stuff from the I forget the brand. They got the different Morton. You have Morton, and then they got the other one, which is the blue one, which is great.
Yellow bags are pellets. Blue bag is crystals. Green bag is crystals, but it's for high iron problems in your water supply when you have a well. You could use
seen
green
that
bag if you want. It's more expensive.
Yeah, I haven't seen the green bags around here, but then they have the red thermal ice melt. And yeah, that works quicker than the pellets do. But, you know, like for the kids to get across the street sometimes after the snow plow has gone through and everybody's already packed it down, it's a drag behind plow and they're not going through it. I'll pop open one of those bags I get at Sam's Club for $4.39, and I'll go out there and toss some of those suppository pellets out on the street, and the cars run over it, break it all up, and pretty soon, oh, there's a path across the frozen street for my grandkids to walk across the street and not slip and fall.
Nah, see, you got to be really cheap like me, where when the snow plow stops at the stop, not the snow plow, the salt machine, the salter, he stops at the stop street 30 feet from my driveway, and he has that thing spinning or he shuts it off. It always dumps like about, I don't know, 10, 15 pounds of salt in a pile.
We don't have that here.
Yeah, I know, but I'll go up there. I'll literally go up there with a shovel and a 5-gallon bucket, and I won't take all the salt. I mean, I'll leave it. I spread some around where it needs it, but on the road. But the rest of it, up goes my bucket. Yeah. I'll throw that in front of my driveway where it berms up all the time.
I did that at my last place.
People look at you.
I did that at my last place.
I paid for it.
Oh, this was in the middle of the country, and I would take the 4-wheeler over to the stop sign. It was maybe 100 yards away from my house, my driveway. My landlord knew about it. Why is it off to the stop sign? They leave a big pile of salt and sand there, and I use it on the driveway, and he just starts laughing his ass off.
Hey, I paid for it in my taxes. It's mine.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of things to do here for, there's a lot of winter chores, snow off the roof, ice off the walkways. You got animals, making sure they have plenty of straw, alfalfa, whatever they need, water, keep the water going warm and stuff. CR's throwing out numbers out there. Well, I did the short video 2 years ago where I had my temperature gun. I tested it indoors and I tested it outdoors. And on the trash can sitting away from the house, I got minus 27 degrees one time.
Nice.
Fahrenheit. Yeah, that was when that was the first time I heard of a polar vortex coming down here. And all the years my daughter and I have been down here, up here in Idaho. So it's like, yeah, and now we got another one this year. Yeah. Crushed granite, fried grit on my driveway. So anyway, I'm just noticed the time. We've been having a grand time. We're over time here already, but yeah.
Yeah. Up in Maine, they don't use salt; they use ash. So all the power companies that use wood pellets. The ash that they give it goes to the town or the county, and the county stockpiles it in a dry hut, and they mix that with sand, and they sprinkle that down. So it just gives you grip on top of the snow. It doesn't melt anything; it just gives you grip.
All right, so coming up here,
I did that at the last place I lived at because I had the wood stove, and what I would do is for a couple of hours I'd get the wood stove going really good. And I take some of the hot coals, and because there's a little bit of an incline on my driveway, and I dump the hot coals there, and they cool down and freeze, and then it'd still be like charcoal, and you'd get a lot of grip going up there.
Yeah, melt in and then refreeze. So you have like pebbles of charcoal sticking out.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Coming up here this next week, tomorrow on Gray Man Prepping. The topic is elderly parent care. Talk about some of the ways you can get paid by insurance companies or Social Security or whoever for being the caregiver for your parents. On Monday, the topic is preserving ingredients. That was recommended by that dude right there, so you can blame him.
The raccoon robot did it. Yeah. What's up, Howie? Howie's in the house.
Howie's in the house. On Gray Man Prepping on Tactical Tuesday, we're going to talking about the weather alert radios, and actually apps now that you can get on your phone that are basically the same thing as a weather alert radio. Thursday's the Midnight Ride. Next Friday on Camppatton Found the Compound. This was suggested by one of the viewers here, channel members, and that person has sent me several emails on this of articles and stuff, and automobile software hacking by both nefarious persons and nefarious government organizations and nefarious automobile organizations. And what's going on China on it right now is going to scare the crap out of you. She just sent me one a couple days ago. It's like, holy crap.
Yep. Didn't pay your bill. Sorry.
Well, it's not even that. It's
you were
not
speeding,
even that.
So we should shut your car off in the middle of the road.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what's coming up here for the next week. And yeah, so dress warmly when you're going out to do it. Remember to layer. So if you need to take something off, you're not taking off your big, huge monster parka. You take it off, and now you're freezing. Yeah, do layers. It may be more of a hassle, but it's better for you in the long run. All right, everyone, take care, and we'll see you tomorrow on Gray Man Prepping.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.